Ross and I were working together right up through the semi-final. I handled the flavor, he did the design. I wanted to face and color the file on my own. No help, just me and my skill. I helped Frost to his entry, but mine I did alone. If it didn't taste good in the final, that's on me. What can I say? I lacked training. That's all there is to it. Happy now? There doesn't seem to be any obvious contradictions in his testimony. Yep. Not that I thought it'd be easy to get anything real out of him. He managed to not let something really happen for 18 years after all. Why don't you try pushing him a bit, Mazzarino? See if you can shake something loose. I think I just might have to, Fender.
Hold it!
Frost was in charge of designing the work you both had submitted while you handled the taste. Yes, he was a sculptor, a craftsman. His sense of design was second to none. He was clueless about confectionery, which is where I come in. We did what the other couldn't. Boy, do you not have an eye for aesthetics, not even for simple stuff. How do you like me now? The national symbol of Zengfa. Oh yeah, it's a phoenix, it's awesome. I'll say, pretty different from the stuff you were pumping out 18 years ago. Behold the fruits of my training. I dedicated my whole life to my craft. Back then, we both needed each other's help, so we joined heads until the final.
Hold it!
You were serious about winning the title then? Of course. The art of confectionery is my life. Why wouldn't I have wanted to be crowned the greatest? I still had a lot to learn back then. It is no surprise my work wasn't up to scratch. The title wasn't the only thing you wanted. There was the cookbook too. You wanted the book even more you wanted the title. Isn't that right, Mr. Gusto?
Overruled.
Mr. Edgeworth, you are badgering a witness who is still suffering the effects of today's attack. I cannot allow this harassment to continue. I understand, Your Honor, but... Ignore him, Mr. Gusto. You need not answer that vile prosecutor's question. But please, do continue your testimony in your own time.
Hold it!
You're saying Mr. Frost didn't help you at all? But he'd helped you up until then, correct? It's a bit strange for him to stop so late in the contest, no? Strange or not, it's the truth. Could be he had his reasons too. I wouldn't know. If he's lying, it's going to be a headache to prove. 18 years is a long time. Not unless that gizmo of yours is a built-in lie detector, Kay. If it did, I'd have stolen the show for Mr. Edgeworth long before now. Don't worry, Fender. I can tell when he's lying. No duplicate assistance required. Please, Mr. Gusto, continue your testimony.
Hold it!
And yet I heard your creations prior to the final were scored highly for their flavour. So what went wrong? Was there some kind of cooking accident that day? No, nothing like that. It was... I told you, I had a taste disorder. My sense of taste failed me. It's as simple as that. Mr. Frost said you was complimented on its flavour. Your sense of taste hadn't failed you then. Did something happen overnight? I don't think there's been any more beans, Mr. Edgeworth. Perhaps I should ask him about something else. Did something change between the semi-final and the final, Mr. Gusto? Not really. The only difference between semi-final and final was Frost wasn't helping me.
Hold it!
So you really completed your final entry without Mr. Frost's help? I may not have had his desires to lean on, but I knew I was solid when it came to flavor. The visuals were the only thing that changed between the semi-final and the final. You sure, Gusty, old pal? Gonna have to call you out on that one, I'm afraid. It wasn't just the looks that got big thumbs down come judgment time. It got trashed on flavor too. Doesn't sound like a winner to me. Despite his confidence, Mr. Gusto fell on flavor too. The lack of Mr. Frost's assistance shouldn't have affected that. Was there some other difference? An 18-year-old mystery. And the key to unravel it's finally in my grasp. I just need to remember everything Fender told me about what he and my father discovered. I don't think that's it.
Hold it!
You knew Mr. Frost from before the contest, correct? You remembered, I see. My son and Frost used to go to elementary school together. It was no coincidence you both ended in the contest, correct? I heard about it first, then told Frost. I knew he'd be interested. He always shot on cash for his sculptures. That's right. Mr. Frost was supposedly always in financial trouble, wasn't he? Cookbook's really worth that much, huh? I see the glint in your eye, kiddo. Don't get your great thieving hopes up. It was worth a lot back then. These days you can find most of the stuff in there in any drugstore shelf. Oh, bummer. So literally every last contestant only ever had eyes on that cookbook, I see. An 18-year-old mystery. You don't know it's finally in my grasp. I can think of one significant difference between the semi-final and the final, Mr. Gusto. Your son. This is him in the photograph, correct? You told me he was here with you through the semi-final. He was. What of it? What indeed? Here he is with you until the semi-final. He was here with you until the semi-final until he suddenly wasn't for the final. And just as suddenly, your work went from being lauded for its flavour to being lambasted for it. I don't think that's a coincidence, do you? He wasn't just spending quality time with his father, he was playing a much more pivotal role than that. I just wanted him to see me hard at work, to show him what I was trying my best for us. Who knows, maybe it was him being here to help me do so well in the early rounds. He talks a good game, but nothing about this guy screams super dad to me. Indeed, thankfully, we would only have to give such an idea credence if the story were true. After all, how much could the encouragement of one small boy affect the taste of a growing man's work? Mr. Gusto prided himself on the flavour of his creation, but had lost his sense of taste. It must have been a tough time maintaining the high standard after such a devastating loss. Unless... I'm sure your son was there to cheer you on, but that wasn't all he was there to do, was it? You're a very suspicious man, Mr. Prosecutor. Want to try answering yourself for a change? What was an elementary school kid doing here other than support his father? Your son did taste of your work pretty well, I imagine, Mr. Gusto. He was my biggest fan, of course he knew. In which case, he would have been a good judge of whether or not something tasted on bland, so to speak, no? What are you implying? You've already told us she was suffering from a taste disorder. No one knew about your condition. Indeed, I doubt Mr. Frost would have wanted to continue collaborating with you had he found out. After all, it was your job to ensure his creations tasted good. Therefore, your son wasn't just there to support you. He was helping you by taste testing your work. Dang, now it all makes sense. Frost stuff tasted good because it was finished the day before when the kid was still here. You have a vivid imagination, Mr. Prosecutor. You seriously think I'd trust a kid to tell me how to adjust the taste of my masterpiece? I have some pride, you know, even back then. Did you now? My design would not have been much to write home about back then. I always knew my work tasted better than anybody else's. You think I'd risk everything by putting my reputation in the hands of a child? This is mere speculation, that's all it is. In that case, I ask to speak with your son this instant. Let's see how much of your story he'll corroborate. Sadly for you, my son is no longer my concern. What? As soon as I got my sense of taste back, I went straight to Zengfa to start my training. Cut off all ties with the kid for good. You fucking prick! What? You abandoned your own child? That ain't the half of it. No one knows where he is, even now. The cops looked all over for him, but no dice. You still think you can prove your asinine theory? I'd like you to try. You think I care about anything beside confectionery? Think again. I got my sense of taste back. What need do I have for a son? Silence in the courtroom. While Mr. Gussos wasn't actively demonstrate a certain lack of humanity on his part, the goddess of justice cannot judge him for that. Therefore, Mr. Edgeworth, I believe it's time for you to admit defeat. Yes, give it up. 18 years of a long time for anyone to surface now, proof or otherwise. Mr. Edgeworth, we have to do something. If we don't, the truth might be lost forever. Where are you, Detective Gumshoe? It's the last piece of the puzzle, I'm sure of it. Once we know whose blood it is. Hey Miles, sorry to cut off your Mind Palace time, but I was pondering something myself. Our friend Gusto didn't come here just to check up on the body, did he? You mean because he tried to open the case? Exactamundo. I think we have anything that might explain he tried to do that. We might. Detective Gumshoe can make it back in time with a certain piece of evidence. There's quite enough idle chatter, defense. Now, if you... Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Sorry to keep you waiting. Speak of the devil. I take it you have the test results, Detective. Yes, sir. The lab just got back to me. Detective, please. Court is in session. Now then, am I right to assume you bring us evidence of Mr. Edgeworth was just speaking of? What? Hey, no fair! Why didn't anyone tell me about any of this? It is indeed the evidence in question, Your Honor. It needed testing, so I asked him to carry it out. What the? Why is everyone always helping you? I'm supposed to be the one in charge here. Mr. Winner, I'm sorry I didn't involve you, but this is important. Can we at least hear what the detective has to say? Well, all right. So, Detective Gumshoe, what did the tests have to tell us? You're not going to believe this, but the only blood we found liquid at the bottom of the Gemini case is Carmelo Gusto, the victim of the poison attack. What are you talking about? Thank you, Detective. You've been very helpful. Well, looks like my suspicions were correct. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, what do you mean? Explain yourself. What's the significance of this blood to this case? It's only the very thing the perpetrator of IS-7 incident have been trying to hide all these years. Aye. The fact your blood was found inside the Gemini case, Mr. Gusto, is as good as finding your blood lying right next to Mr. Frost's body. Ugh. Why would there be traces of your blood there of all places, Mr. Gusto? If you won't answer Her Honor, Mr. Gusto, then I will. There wasn't just blood in the liquid form of the Gemini case, there were traces of salt and sugar too. There were? If you remember, one particular part of Mr. Frost's work was allegedly very salty indeed. Oh yeah, you're talking about what Delicia told us back then, right? What was it again? Yes, the liar, and only the liar, tasted if it had been flavoured with salt. There were no traces of salt anywhere else on Mr. Frost's entry. Very interesting. Perhaps you can tell us, Mr. Edgeworth, where'd the salt on the liar come from? Oh!
Take that!
This is the lamp from the IS-7 incident. Indeed. I believe the salt that gave the liar the flavour came from such a lamp. Von Karma had established both salt lamps were in Mr. Tangora's room at the time of the crime. One of them was used to kill Mr. Frost. It was stained with his blood, but no corresponding pool of blood was found in Tangora's room. The culprit chucked a piece of chocolate with it into the little stream. Furthermore, aside from the liar, no traces of salt were found anywhere else in Mr. Frost's room either. Come to think of it, the lamps were found in Cecilia's room were both broken. We never did figure out how the one that wasn't used to kill Frost got busted, but are we thinking maybe it had Gusto's blood on it at some point? Anyone whose blood was found on those lamps would have been a person of interest to the police. So the killer needed to hide the blood somehow and find a way it wouldn't arouse suspicion. Are you suggesting the liar was used to do just that? I am. I suspect the bloody salt was somehow applied to the liar so it could be hidden inside the case. Unlike the fountain water, the sculptures would have needed more time and care to test it properly. If it waited and waited for its chance to dispose of the liar and detect it. The reason he's here today is 18 years ago, Mr. Frost's body and the evidence pointing to him as killer were all taken away together. This, of course, was not part of the perpetrator's plan, and thus a new dilemma arose. The possibility the body, the incriminating evidence, or both would resurface one day. So back he comes 18 years later, sneaking in bright and early to try to cover his tracks. Well, Mr. Gusto, are you finally ready to admit it? You're the one responsible for IS-7? Mr. Gusto, it's all because of you that Samson... Gustav. So I finally get caught, huh? All these years later. Nobody came close back then. Not even a big shot prosecutor or the attorney. That's some impressive work, Mr. Prosecutor. I have to hand it to you. You admit it then? You murdered Artie Frost? Sure I do. I did it. I killed him. But he only had himself to blame. What do you mean by that? He agreed to help me. We were supposed to help each other so one of us could win. Whoever won was supposed to let the other use the book. The day of the final, the rat showed his true colors. Seriously, Frost, we had a deal. Sorry, I am not helping you in the final. Our little agreement is over, Gusto. I helped you. I spent all day yesterday making the ice for your pieces. Did you? And you can prove that, I suppose. Wait. You were planning to betray me from the start, weren't you? After Frost double-crossed me, I had to make my peace for the final by myself. Like you said, my son wasn't there. I didn't have any help with flavor either. So much for the pride you claim to have in your ability to make delicious desserts. Go ahead and judge. You have no idea what it's like for someone like me to lose my sense of taste. I gave up everything to become the best. Everything. I take a pride in it. Something that someone like you could never understand. You're right, I don't understand. You take pride in the fact you resorted to murder? Or you abandoned your son? Why would I want to understand someone who could do such things? Man can't afford to rely on other people. I learned that the hard way 18 years ago. My son never showed up the day of the final. In hindsight, I wouldn't be surprised if Frost was the reason why. Why do you think that? What exactly happened to your son? How am I supposed to know? I told you, he's none of my concern anymore. According to you guys, nobody knows where he is now either. You don't care? You're horrible. With his disappearance, so too were your chances of winning, correct? Yes. I had to find another way of getting my hands in the book. That's when inspiration struck me. I decided to skip afternoon tea and snook into Tangola's room. It shouldn't be so easy. All I had to do was photograph the formulas I need and get out of there. Then Frost showed up. I thought you might be here. Stealing recipes from their famous cookbook? Frost! What's this? A cure for taste disorders? Oh no, that's too tragic. A confectioner who can't taste anything? What will people say? If you tell anybody, I will. Ah! You're what? You can't even hit me, you miserable worm. Why, you? Frost shoved me hard. I went to punch him. None me clean off my feet. I crashed into one of the lamps. Must have been when my blood got on it. So Mr. Frost wasn't the first to get hurt. When it was all over, I realized I had to get rid of the blood somehow. Scraped it onto the bloody bits. I discovered the salt shavings in some flavored ice mixture. Brushed it all over the hop. That's how you made the evidence linking you to the murder vanish. Frost was going to blackmail me. How would he have made me give him money to keep quiet about my condition? You decided you had to kill him? Yeah, I guess I did. Why would I let him live? Would you want someone holding something like that over your head? Besides, he's the one who drew the first blood. Makes a solid case for self-defense, don't you think? So that's the impetus behind it all. Anyway, I took the lamp to Frost's room. Went straight there when I figured out how I was going to hide the bloody pot. Inspired by all the ice sculpting tools lying around the place, I guess. You're not as dumb as you pretend to be. Yes, I figured out I could use it to chip it off and grind it up. But once it was done, painting the stuff over the harbor was easy.
Why Samson? Why'd you have to frame him?
I never meant for the cops to pin it on him. That was your fault. You and the rest of them. Why do you think I went to the trouble of placing the lamps and cloths back in Scones' room? Does anyone reason to plant a better weapon in the room with another contestant? To cast suspicion on that person?
What? You try to flame me, Gussie Pants?
Yeah,
Why? Why poor old me?
I respected Tangora. He was the best. A true champion. I never wanted him to take the fall. But you're a fraud. Your work wasn't even real. You have no respect for the craft at all. You deserve to be punished for what you did.
Oh, Gussie, how could you?
Had you refrained from eating Tangora's work, Frost's body would not have been found. My plan was to wait until Tangora was judging your room. That's when I'd sink the corpse into Frost's room and freeze it. Thanks to you, Bound here found it before I had a chance to retrieve it.
I don't understand. Why do you need to freeze his body at all?
Why indeed?
Miss Edgeworth, surely you must know. Why did Mr. Gooser need to freeze Mr. Frost's body?
The reason Mr. Goose had to freeze the body was to hide the true scene of the crime from the police. No.
You wanted to confuse him over what really happened? One heck of an icy glare from Judge Cavell, Mr. Edgeworth.
Alright, message received.
Please, Mr. Edgeworth, tell the truth this time.
Mr. Gusto needed to freeze Mr. Frost's body in order to obscure the time of death. If they determined the murder occurred during afternoon tea, he would have been an obvious suspect. Bingo! Freezing Frost's body wasn't simple. Preparing everything took time. I decided to put his body in the chest of Tangora's room while everything was ready in Frost's. At the time, it seemed like the perfect hiding place. Never counted on some blood-gluttonous pharmacist showing up making the whole ship collapse.
I still don't get it, though. Why would you disguise the body as an ice sculpture at all?
The sooner it was found, the smaller the effect of freezing would have had on masking the time of death. Therefore, he needed to disguise at least up until fully frozen.
How awful. Using Mr. Frost's own word to help you cover up the truth behind his murder.
Ironically, Tangora would have been just fine if the body hadn't been found before I got out this room. If only things had gone to plan, he wouldn't have even had to have been arrested, let alone convicted.
You mean it was my fault? Everything that happened to Samson was all because I found the body?
Don't let him get inside your head, Judes. None of this is your fault. If it wasn't Samson, it would have been Delicia instead. She would have been the one they arrested. Either way, there's only one person to blame here, and that's Gusto. It didn't help the initial detective was so bad at his job either. Never even told the prosecutor the body had vanished. So then Von Carl unwittingly placed Mr. Tangora under arrest in absence of a body. I mean, I guess it would explain why he was so keen to wrap things up. Still, you'd think he'd know something as big as that if he'd taken a few reports, right? Not if someone had been deliberately distorting the facts of the case, though. Either way, it seems Mr. Von Karma didn't know about the body until the arrest had been made. Admitting it would have spoiled his perfect record, so he kept it to himself and proceeded to prosecute Mr. Tangora regardless.
Can this really be true? You don't feel bad at all? Somebody spent 18 years in prison because of you.
Sticks and stones, girlie. What a jerk. I ought to arrest you right now, pal.
I'm afraid I can't allow you to do that, Detective.
So you noticed, sir? Glad that somebody did. The judge is right. You cannot lay a finger on me.
Why? You just confessed to murder.
No idea, huh? Guess I'd best lay it out for you. I know where this is going. I killed Frost 18 years ago. The statute of limitations for murder in this country is 15 years. You do the math. You can't arrest me. You think I'd confessed otherwise?
That's right, the statute of limitations is only 15 years. Is this really the end of the line, Mr. Edgeworth?
Once the statute's expired, he can't be charged, so...
But... how unfortunate, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm afraid both Mr. Guzzo's confession and your deductions will have to be struck from the record. And that Mr. Tangora's conviction will remain in place.
But we found it proving the police never had Mr. Frost's body in their possession. Even if we can't arrest Mr. Gusto, surely Mr. Tangora has grounds for a retrial on that basis.
Does he? I wouldn't be so sure. I'm afraid that God's judgments are somewhat harder to overturn than you might imagine.
So the committee meets with the verdict from 18 years ago to stand no matter what? Better luck, Mr. Prosecutor. There must be something we can do, something to bring Mr. Gusto down. Yes, indeed there is. The statute of limitations for murder in this country is 15 years, but it says right here in this book, the statute is suspended should the suspect flee to a foreign country, which you did, to Zengfar, and the statute is suspended from the time of any accomplice's indictment. And what was Tangora convicted of? Being an accomplice. So, go to hell.
Objection!
Oh, fuck off. You're lying, Mr. Gusto, and that proves it. This is no time for meditation. Look at the evidence. I don't need to look at it. It's garbage, and you need to try harder. If you're looking to improve your professional skills, I wholeheartedly recommend going to Zengfar. Right then.
Hold it!
Depending on your actions over the last 18 years, the statute may not have expired yet. This ought to be good. Alright, I've got nothing to hide. If there's something you want to ask it. Very well. Tell us where you've been and what you've been doing since the incident. Sure. Not long after the contest, I was able to cure my tasty soda thanks to the formula from the book. Not long after that, I went to Zengfar to really buckle down and hone my craft. That explains a lot. We tried to contact you after the fact, but I guess you were long gone by then, huh? Could be. I left, let's see, around a year after the murder, before Tangora's last day in court. Going to Zengfar was the best thing I ever did. Flavor, design, I am the full package now. And all the backs of those whose lives you destroyed. What's an omelette without a few eggs, Nothing, Mr. Prosecutor. Nothing.
You're evil.
Sticks and stones. You can't arrest me, and that is all that matters. Need more to work with. There has to be something I can get out of him. Maybe I can push him further on the statements he just made. Is there anything I should follow up on? Would you mind telling us more about Mr. Tangora's final day in court? Fine. I didn't stick around for his final court appearance.
Hold it!
And you weren't summoned as a witness at any point during the prosecution or defense. I had more important things to do than worry about some court case. I was busy getting ready to go and become the best. Gregory made such high low for the guy, so he didn't want to be found. Sounds like he played his cards right and managed to avoid setting foot in court. I'd like you to tell us more about your training in Zen Far, if you wouldn't mind. Fine. I later went to Zengfar to train and finally became the best in the world.
Hold it!
Zengfar? And you were there for a while, I imagine. I left some time after the investigation had wrapped up. So we made to go there and start my studies for a while. Thanks to the hard work I put in. My designs are now world class. Wow, that's amazing. You'll like it? It's yours. Really? Alright. You spent some time in Zengfar training. Do the math, you can't arrest me.
Objection!
Oh, come on.
Objection!
There we go. The statute of limitations for murder is subject to the following condition. The statute is suspended should the suspect flee to a foreign country, which means the time you spent abroad doesn't count towards the total time under the statute.
No way, it's like someone hit pause while he was in Zengfar. It appears there may be time left on the clock yet. That would depend on how long you stayed in Zengfar, Mr. Gusto.
It was 3 years exactly.
Hold on. Nobody says anything until I've done the math. The murder happened 18 years back. Statute is 15 years. Add the 3 overseas. 15 plus 3 makes exactly 18, which means no way. Mr. Edgeworth, you did it. The statute hasn't expired after all.
Bingo! 18 years exactly. You worked it out for yourselves. He's just stringing us along the whole time.
Why is he laughing? We're good, aren't we? We can arrest him now. I hate to break it to you, little sis, but IS-7 went down at the end of December. It's April now, which means, strictly speaking, it's been 18 years and 4 months since Frost's murder. If Gusta's stay in Zengfar already lasted 3 years on the nose, it's not enough. We're a few months short. Not enough, but...
What did I tell you? You can't touch me. I hate to admit it, but he'd read the board well when he made his confession.
How unfortunate, Mr. Edgeworth. If only the statute had been suspended another year. Those who would overturn a goddess's judgment must be willing to pay the price should they fail. And you, Mr. Edgeworth, have failed.
No! There must be something I can do.
I knew it. If the law can't bring Mr. Gusto to justice, then...
Jude, what are you thinking?
Objection!
There's no need to go adding to your rap sheet just yet. We're not done here. Far from it. There's still a way we can nail him.
There is?
Alright, Malzerino, pep talk. I need you to think back to everything you know about the case. Gusto's overlooked one critical thing you yourself were led to believe wrongly about. Which is? He wasn't there for Samson's last trial, remember? Best I can tell, he doesn't know what the final verdict came down to that day. Which means there's still one way left to us. Crack open your statutes for dummies and take another look. 17 years ago they did a number on Samson and framed him like a pretty picture. If we make good use of the verdict now, we can make Gusto pay full for what he's done. Fender, are you? Those who would overturn the goddess's judgment must be willing to pay the price should they fail. Samson's my client, Miles. I can't bring myself to use the source of his pain as a weapon against him. Whether we play our last card or not is going to have to be up to you. I think I missed a key word there. I can't bring myself to use the source of his pain as a weapon in this fight. There we go. Bringing Mr. Gusto to justice can only happen if I use the outcome of that hard-fought trial. Should I raise an objection and play the card or not? Obviously! Again, why is that an option? My father and Mr. Von Karma, one sought to reveal the truth, the other to hide it. I know which path I choose to follow, the one that seeks to reveal the truth.
The court has reached its final verdict. The record will state Mr. Gusto has been found not guilty on all counts.
No, Your Honour. Mr. Carmelo Gusto is absolutely guilty. I refuse to let him walk away. His crimes are too unspeakable to be unpunished.
Do you mean to suggest you have grounds upon which to call for his arrest?
I do. Now to show Judge Cavell something that proves the statute of limitations has not yet expired.
Take that!
Very well. Is there a particular page of IS-7 you wish to refer to?
Suspect data. I'd like to direct your attention to the page concerning the suspect. As you can see, Samson Tangola was convicted as an accomplice. It took around 1 year from his indictment for the verdict to be reached.
That does seem to be the case.
The book you gave us details certain conditions pertaining to the statute of limitations for murder. One of them, as I mentioned, is the statute is suspended if the victim flees the country. The other states the statute is suspended from the time of any accomplishment's indictment to the end of their trial. What? Tangola was convicted as an accomplice? Yep. Guess you were in Zhengfa when the verdict went down. Samson was convicted as an accomplice, not the main perp. Which is clearly news to you, and not good news either, am I right? How can that be? Tangola wasn't an accomplice to anyone. He was innocent. You know it. Oh, we know it. It's what we've been trying to prove all along. And in a pleasing twist of fate, his wrongful conviction was the very thing that will set him free. If you spent 3 years in Zhengfa, and your accomplice was on trial for 1 year, that means you can still be charged with Mr. Frost's murder up to 19 years after the fact. In other words, the statute of limitations has not expired at all. Ugh!
The goddess' judgment is infallible, but that of her servants, it appears, is not. It seems the prosecutor in charge of this case may have erred. Unbelievably, we may have no choice but to investigate a full inquiry.
No! How could this... You weren't supposed to be able to... 18 years. A long time to let someone else suffer for your crimes. Time to pay the piper, Gusto, and not a moment too soon. Ugh. I'm finally the greatest. My brilliance has been recognized. I give up everything for this. Everything. Even my son. More's the pity. You can't run from the law forever, because the bills come due at last. Better grab a drink, because the breakdown's coming. Mr. Gusto's all settled for his trip downtown, sir. Oh, good. Which means it's your turn next, right?
I suppose so.
Judes.
I'm so sorry, everybody. I caused you all so much trouble. But thank you. Thank you for bringing Mr. Gusto to justice at last.
I'm afraid there's no escaping the consequences of your actions, Miss Bound. Those actions were born of legal mistakes that were made all those years ago. We all know that. Allow me to apologise in return on behalf of the prosecution.
No, I've no one to blame but myself for it all, starting with those sculptures.
Hey dudes, think you might want me to represent you? I'm not some nervous newbie anymore. There's no way I'm letting you take the rap for everything. Oh.
I'd be honoured. Thank you, Mr. Fender.
Sorry man, but you gotta come with me now.
Of course.
Judge Gavelle, why did you lie to us?
Lie? What are you talking about?
You implied there was no case for a retrial, but we've proven it wasn't true. Surely anyone truly committed to seeing justice done would have called for one as soon as the body was found.
I'm under no obligation to answer such questions.
You clearly have no intention of doing so either.
Truly, you're proving to be quite a threat to the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence. As such, you give me little choice but to report back to your continued transgressions. No doubt you'll be called to appear before the committee in due course. Now, I must be on my way. What the heck? After you caught the real killer and everything? Isn't that what prosecutors are supposed to do?
Regardless of how it all may play out, I'll never regret what we accomplished here today.
Mr. Edgeworth?
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth! Yes? Why'd you stick your nose in this case anyway? You weren't even on the job! My job is to bring the truth to light, Mr. Winner. Not only as a prosecutor, but as a person. I don't get it. I wouldn't expect you to understand, not as long as you believe closing a case makes you a winner. That's going way over my head. I'm going home.
What was that all about?
Eustace still has a lot to learn is all.
Mousy Wowsy!
Yes?
I just wanted to say old Greggy Pegleg would have been so proud of you today. Oh, look at me tearing up. That and thanks for helping poor Sammy Poople.
Of course.
Hey Edgy, looks like you cleared up everything, huh? So what happened exactly? I was kind of busy sketching. Wait, where'd Judy and Verity go? Wow, you really weren't paying attention, were you?
Which is good, really, because I wouldn't want to deal with his interjections. Though I'm loath to admit it, Larry's sketches did come through for us on more than one occasion. Not I'm about to tell him that.
Quit with the glaring, will you? Whatever I did, I'm sorry.
Calm down, Larry, I wasn't glaring at you.
You totally were. Just like your pop. He was a terrible liar too.
He was?
Listen, I'm gonna head out. I need to fill Samson in on what went down today. Wanna come with?
Yes, of course.
Great, I'm coming too. What's Mr. Tangora like? I can't wait to finally meet him. He's a real sweetheart. You'll love him. Even while locked up, he can't help but make all sorts of cookies and cakes for everyone. Why, it's why 3 p.m. cake extravaganza is a thing for prisoners and guards alike. Really? That sounds awesome. You think there'll be any left for us to try?
Did we find a few slices of chocolate cake in the prison in the oven? Oh! Oh my god! Okay. I'd forgotten about that and it had thrown me before. Could they have been some of Mr. Tangora's baked goods?
Gummy, what are you doing here?
As you were coming to see Mr. Tangora, I volunteered to escort him.
Hello, new friends. I'm Samson Tangora.
Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth at your service.
I'm Mr. Edgeworth's trusted sidekick, Kay Faraday.
It's very nice to meet you all.
Miles here is Gregory's son. Is that so? Your father was very kind to me and fought so hard for my case. But in the end, I betrayed him. I made a false confession and...
Don't worry, Mr. Tangora. Mr. Fender's explained everything to me.
Sure did. We're here to tell you the truth about what happened 18 years ago. The truth? Judy did all that for me? Crazy kid racked her brain for 18 years till she finally figured out how to set you free. What can I say? Turns out she really would do anything for you. Oh, Judy, I never did anything to deserve such devotion.
Come now, Mr. Tangora, I think we all know that's not true. The bond between the two of you is held strong all these years, after all.
You think so?
I guess I'd better show him. Which piece of evidence is proof the bond of Mr. Tangora and Miss Bounds share?
Kinda drawing a blank here. Is this right?
Take that!
This shows the bond between Judy and I? I guess I can see it. These things take all kinds of shapes after all.
That wasn't what I meant at all.
Thank you. You hang in there, Samson, just a little longer. I should be able to get you out soon. Sorry it's taken so long. No, you should have to wait 18 years to get justice. Don't be silly, Eddie. I'm the one who should be saying sorry. Or rather, thank you. Truly. Samson. I guess it's my turn to wait for Judy to come home now. I better make sure there's something delicious on the table for when she finally walks through that door. Don't let me down, Eddie. Leave it to me, big guy.
The IS-7 incident. It's been 18 long years, but the case we've inherited from my father is finally coming to a close.
Hey, Miles. Thanks for today. Sorry for forcing you to make that final call like that.
Not at all. I simply made the call that felt right to me.
What are you guys talking about? You know how Samson was wrongfully convicted? We had to pretend he wasn't in order to nail Gusto. To use his false conviction against him even to save him. As his lawyer, I couldn't bring myself to do it. I can see that. Now Gusto's behind bars, I can finally start to get the wrongful conviction overturned.
Yes, and I'm sure you will.
Wait a minute, does that mean even if you were only doing what's right? If the false conviction's been overturned before today, Mr. Gusto would have got away scot-free? Yep. It's what we folks in the trade like to call a legal contradiction. The law's far from perfect. Because of things like legal contradictions, right? Yeah, but you never know. Things might change. The law's always evolving, just like us humans. Your Uncle Eddie and Marzarino included, am I right?
The potential for growth and change in people and the law, huh?
So, Miles, gonna keep fighting crime as a prosecutor, or help people as an attorney? Someone tells you got a big decision ahead of you, one only you can answer.
I know.
Let's just say I won't complain if you show up at my office one day. On that note, it's time for me to skedaddle. I owe you big time. I'll always repay my debts. But for now, thanks again for today. I mean it. Did he seem kind of in a hurry to get out of here to you?
He did. And honestly speaking, I'm the one who owes him the debt of gratitude. After all, he gave me a chance to reckon with my father's final case. When I was a boy, all I dreamed of was becoming an attorney like my father. Then during the time of Mr. Von Karma, I learned the way of the prosecutor instead. Eventually, even with the help of some good friends, I found my own voice and a new way to live. But now my career as a prosecutor at risk of being taken away from me. It may be time to take in another long, hard look at how I want to live my life, whether I like it or not.
Hey, Gregory. Sorry for reporting in so late. May have taken 18 years. We're finally in a position to prove Samson's innocence. All thanks to your boy Miles. I couldn't have done it without him. You should see him. The way he fought for truth gave me chills. It was like watching you. Look, I know I'm not half the attorney you were, but those guiding principles you tried to instill in me, I try to think I embody them now as I carry your legacy. Here's hoping. Your boy will be joining me in that soon.
Am I going to fight crime as a prosecutor, or help people as an attorney? What's the right answer? What path should I choose?